I'm Niamh Cassidy, a former social care worker who, after having my own children, found a calling as a childbirth educator and lactation consultant. Back when I started this journey, I faced the same challenges many of you might be experiencing right now, struggling to get enough clients to make my business viable long term. I knew in my heart that I had the skills and knowledge to make a difference, but the thought of marketing and selling left me feeling a bit uneasy. I didn't want to compromise my authenticity and values just to attract clients. I invested in trainings and mentorships, and I tried various strategies that I learned, but it often felt like I couldn't implement a lot of it because what I was being taught didn't match my values as a birth and postpartum worker. That's when I decided to take matters into my own hand. I embarked on a mission to learn, to experiment, and to find ethical and authentic ways to share my expertise, support my clients, and build a sustainable practice. Today, I'm proud to say that I run a thriving private practice, and I'm here to share my insights with all of you to help you to do the same. Join me on this journey as I help you bridge the gap between your passion for supporting new parents and the success you deserve. Together, we'll discover the power of ethical, authentic, and effective approaches, not only to make a living, but also to make a positive impact in the world of birth and postnatal care. Let's get started on this empowering journey together. So hi everyone, and welcome back to the Pregnancy and Postnatal Entrepreneurs Collective podcast with me, Niamh Cassidy, business coach to birth and postpartum workers. Today I'm talking about something that crosses the minds of many entrepreneurs, but also many birth and postpartum workers, and it's should I niche down or should I be more specific in my offerings? Now, you might think that catering to pregnant or postnatal families is already pretty niche. It's pretty focused as it is. But trust me, there is more to consider. There's more to explore when it comes to narrowing things down. And would that be right for you? And would it be right for your business and your services that you provide? So let's first explore what that means. So niching down is about providing services either to a more specific group or providing very specific type services. So it might be a doula who provides doula services to a really specific group. So say, for example, CEOs of a company. So I am the CEO doula. That would be a very niche group to have. Or it might be providing a very specific service. So some people might think that hypnobirthing antenatal classes is a niche, and it is. And then someone might get even more specific in the type of classes they provide, and it might be hypnobirthing for a drug-free birth only, or hypnobirthing classes for planned cesareans. So it's about, do you want to really narrow the focus of either the services you are providing or who you are providing those services to? They're the two main ways to niche. So let's chat about the perks that might come with getting that specific. First of all, when we focus on one really clear thing, being an expert in that one thing makes you stand out. So whether you're a lactation consultant, a doula, or a childbirth educator, honing in on a particular area can make you the go-to person for that needs. So let's go back to the CEO doula example. If someone is marketing themselves as the doula to CEOs or to high-performing women, say, for example, then those women are more likely to seek out that doula because they feel that resonates with them. They feel that she's going to understand their needs. And you could be then seen as the expert who helps high-performing women in childbirth. So being known as the expert not only can bring you more clients, but it can also mean that you're more likely to get media attention for being that expert, for being that go-to person. Because the cool part is that when you get more specific, your messaging becomes super clear. So you can focus on speaking to that exact person or about your service in a really specific way. Because many of us, instead of niching, what we're doing is we're adding more services to our repertoire, adding more services that we can provide. And sometimes that makes it hard for clients to know what is it that we actually do. Whereas if we're really, really specific and really, really niche, clients know exactly what you do and who you do it for. So imagine a couple are looking for a specific type of doula because they are traveling, maybe. So they're looking for a doula who's willing to travel to where they are. And then there is a doula that provides that service of following the client wherever they may be. So that would be something really, really specific. And if they were looking for someone that did that, they'd find you straight away because nobody else is doing that, or very few people are doing it. So you still might be thinking, I don't know, like, really, can I niche down that far? And the reason why this topic popped into my head is because I came across this Instagram account, and it's nothing to do with birth or postpartum work, okay? So I found this Instagram account, and it's all about cooking potatoes. Just potatoes, nothing else. All she does is provide recipes and different ways to cook potatoes. Do you want to guess how many followers that account has? 10,000? 20,000? 50,000? 763,000 followers on a cooking account about potatoes. So if that's not niche, I don't know what is. So there definitely is ways to niche down even within the birth and postpartum industry. And it might be something that you want to consider, in particular if you are in a highly populated area and there are lots of people providing really similar services in the same area. Then becoming more niche could really, really help you stand out. And it might help you as well improve your skills in a certain area when you are fully focusing on either one type of client or one type of service. So being able to find what it is that makes you happiest, or what you feel there is a need for in your area, and niching down into that to be that go-to person. So to be the go-to doula for CEOs, to be the go-to childbirth educator for busy professionals, to be the go-to lactation consultant for multiple births. So looking at all the different things that you might decide to become known for or to become expert in, and thinking about niching down into those areas. Now, of course, there can be concerns and there can be challenges with this level of niching or getting really, really specific. If your work is mostly in person, face to face, or mostly one to one, you might want to think about how many people in your locality or that would be close enough to travel that might need your niche or might be interested in your niche. So if you live in a very low population area, getting really, really narrow in your niche, if you only provide in-person services, may not be the way to go for you. So if we go back to the CEO doula example, if you live in a very rural area with no built up cities close to you, then maybe being the CEO doula isn't going to be the best use of your time, and it's not going to help your business grow. But if you live in a very highly populated metropolitan city, then that might be exactly what you want to do. But on the flip side of that, if you're doing a lot of online services, or if most of your services are online, you could niche down into anything because you have the whole world as a potential client and you can market your services anywhere. The challenge in that area is that the online space can be quite crowded. So you'd need to be really, really niche and really, really specific in your messaging to make sure that you stand out and that people come to you. The other thing to think about is that if you do decide to niche, we need to be real. It might take time for it to come to fruition. We can't expect a niche and all of a sudden straight away everybody who wants that service is going to come directly to us. We need to make sure that we are given a time to promote the service, to get the word of mouth out there, to be networking, to be letting people know that this is now our speciality, and giving it at least 6 months before throwing in the towel. So giving it at least 6 months to see how things are panning out. If not more, if you're seeing some level of improvement at the 6 month mark, you might bring it on a little bit further to see, does that grow? But definitely these new ideas take time to embed, and I feel definitely giving it at least 6 months would be really important to make sure that you're not wasting your time starting something and then stopping it without giving it enough time to get started in the first place. But with all of that said, let's remember that everyone doesn't need to get super specific or super niche, and that's totally cool. You might want to be the doula for anybody who is in your area, and that's absolutely no problem at all, and that can work really well in lots of ways. Of course it can. So it's a decision that depends really on your business, your area, your lifestyle, and what you're really interested in and what everybody in your area is interested in. So think about what will work for you and be ready to change things up if you need to. So you might try being a generalized practitioner first, and then you might find that there's a particular type of client that you really, really prefer working with, and then you might niche into that specific type of client. Or you might find that there's a specific type of client that just keeps coming back to you because one person in that group really enjoyed your services, and then they refer on to another and on to another and on to another, and you're finding that these are the people that are coming to you anyway. And if you could increase your messaging to directly target those people, then you might get lots more of those people coming into your space and not just the ones that are being referred on. So just to recap a little bit, if you do decide to niche down, be smart about it and be a little bit flexible. And if it doesn't work out, don't be afraid to change things up, but do give it a little bit of a time to embed first. Your journey as a birth and postpartum entrepreneur is all of yours, and it's wonderful to be able to embrace all the possibilities that you might explore and just keep rocking on doing what you're doing as well. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really enjoyed talking about this topic, and I really enjoy bringing this conversation on further as well. So if you want to send me a DM on Instagram and tell me what you're thinking, are you thinking about niching down? Do you have an idea but you're not sure where to go with it? Send me a message on Instagram or come into our Facebook community and let's talk about it in there. We get the really big chats going on in the Facebook group because it's private, and we love talking about the podcast episodes and what people took from them. And if you're making any plans about niching down, I'd love to hear about it. Or if you tried it out and it wasn't what you were hoping for, I'd love to hear about that as well. And also, as always, I'd love to ask that you leave me a review on your preferred podcast provider, because when you leave a review, I read every single one of them, and it really helps other people who might benefit from this podcast to find it. So until next time, my friends, I can't wait to chat with you again. I am out. Don't forget to download your totally free copy of the Birth Workers Business Playbook, now available for a limited time only. So check out the show notes to get your link and get your copy.